I think one thing that you said that was important was that if you want to see change, you have to like go to the table, like you have to get there, and that is super, super important. I want to make sure that we talk briefly about the Confederate Railroad situation, event, firework event that is coming up. That has been a big topic as well. And so I want to hear from people who are for, against, both, right? And so I know some of the conversation has been where it was talking about, potential racism and making people feel unwelcome. And then some people say, it is a group. And I looked them up because I wanted to see who they were, who I wanted to make sure I knew what I was talking about. And so, and some of the lyrics and all that good stuff. So I want to hear from you all regarding the Confederate Railroad band. So does anyone want to start? On, for, or against?
What did you think of the music?
You know what? So my family is all from Texas. So I mean, country. I grew up listening to country music, so country doesn't bother me. If that's what you're asking. So I listen to all genres of music.
You said you listened to their lyrics.
Yeah.
Did you find it offensive?
I'm as a facilitator here, so I want to hear from you all. No, I want to hear from you all. I want to be open and neutral, so I want to hear from everybody. So, do you have anything to say about it?
I didn't think they were.
Well, are you going to stay? You have to stay on topic, and you have to talk quick. Okay.
35 years ago, when I opened up for business, me and 6 of my buddies sat at a table at a bar and started spitting out names. My one buddy, John, spit out the name of my business, Realistic Reconditioning. I thought it sounded good. These guys, when they opened their band 40 years ago, sat around, they're from the South, they're singing country music, and they came up with Confederate Railroad. Did they find it to be offensive? Were they out to hurt somebody? At the time, what was going on 40 years ago? The Dukes of Hazzard was the #1 TV show in the land, and they had a big Confederate flag on the thing. Were they out running over people? Were they doing this? Were they doing that? They were only saying it was the rebel instinct. They didn't mean it in a harmful way that it meant way back in the 1800s. Okay? So that's, as far as the outtake of it, that's something that happened 40 years ago when they named their band, and they came through very successful through the 80s and the 90s. They're an older band now, but it didn't come off as racism. It was just the rebellish of...
So you are for them?
I'm for them.
Okay. Scott, you wanted to add something? Thank you.
You're welcome.
In my opinion, that if you don't like them, don't go to them. That's it. If you don't like Walmart, you don't go to Walmart. You go to Meijer, you go to Target, you go do whatever you want to do. Why let somebody else ruin your day because they got their kings in a knot over the group coming to the fireworks?
So, because I want to make sure I'm clear, because from what I saw and heard, was it about not liking the band, or was it specifically about the name? So I just want to make sure we're clear on our...
Answer that question, because I think it's the name, but I'm not even positive.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks. So, like many of the policy decisions and opinions that I put out there publicly, people come to me with issues, right? If I'm not crediting somebody openly, which I've done that before. I'm looking at Paul in the audience because I've given him props when he, gave me a policy idea, right? I'm here to represent people. So this wasn't something that was even on my radar. Somebody came to me and said, this is a bunch of bull. And I said, I agree with you. So I feel, and this is just me, as if hate has no home here, okay? I know the mayor and his commission days and myself have both passed resolutions that effectively say that hate has no home in Bay City, right? So that's one lens. I'll get back to that in a second, the racist part, right? I'm a doggone veteran. We're talking about the 250th Independence Day. And we're going to have somebody who was an enemy of America celebrated by having a band here that bears their name, their logo that bears Confederate symbology. It's a little bit odd, don't you think? Also, we have 200 Union soldiers buried at Soldiers Rest. I was just out there to see them today, actually. 200 folks who now call Bay City home eternally that fought against the Confederacy. We sent a quarter of our male population in Michigan off to fight against the Confederacy. Why the hell should we celebrate the Confederacy in any way, shape, or form? Words and symbols have meaning. It's not just a name. Because if I named a band of mine something controversial, I would expect for folks to get irritated with it, right? Mm-hmm. So back to the name of the band. I agree that it does not seem as if their music itself is offensive. If you don't know why the Confederacy was offensive, we could look back to 1861 and the fact that they were literally fighting for states' rights to what? Own other people, right? Thank you. Viciously, I might add. Nobody did chattel slavery like America did. We literally bred people like dogs so that we could have the best workers in our fields, right? It's disgusting. We're Yankees. We can't pretend like this is just some Southern heritage thing. We're not in the American South, right? So I think, for me, I can't square it in any way, shape, or form. Whether we look at it in a historical lens with being a Union state, right? Or whether we're talking about how welcome people of color might feel in a community that welcomes a band bearing the name Confederate Railroad.
So what is the next step? What's the next step?
Sure, I'll try to wrap up and get there.
Yeah.
Sure.
No, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, I
Just to
think
take your time.
I think it's beneficial to be dialectical, right? You take two opposing views and find some truth to both of them. So I thanked the volunteer when I reached out to him. I think we can be appreciative of our volunteers and hold them accountable at the same time. We can say we represent all people, but I don't represent hateful rhetoric or views. I don't care if they're coming from my constituents or not. I'm not going to push those ideologies, right? So for me, I'm not exactly sure where we're going to go with this as far as we, meaning people advocating against it, right? Personally, I don't know what I'm going to do with that aside from lead with positivity and say that April the 12th, 2 o'clock, Soldiers Rest, bring a rake. We're going to clean up the cemetery in anticipation of the Memorial Day event that's going on there about a month later. So that's what I know for now as to what to expect and where to go. As far as what else, I'll just say this. Hate is divisive. Calling out hate should not be divisive. We should be united against hate. Right? We should not tolerate intolerance. Thanks.
Can I get that?
Oh.
I'll be quick. So something that was said earlier was if you don't like it, don't come. That works with a lot of things, and it's perfectly normal for a lot of things. But that is not normal for a 250th 4th of July celebration where the entire idea is to bring all Americans together. The idea here there should be to put on a show, to put on an event, which, by the way, Bay City is known for across the state. These symbols are being projected. This is what people are knowing Bay City for and associating Bay City with. That should be an event that makes any number of people, anyone who looks at it, happy to be a part of it. And if we want to even look at it in a monetary sense, if you don't like it, don't come on one of the biggest tourist days of our city. That is not just morally wrong, it's financially wrong.
Can I have 1 second? As far as the band coming here, and yes, it is the 250th anniversary and all that for the firework, or for the country, but being the fireworks festival, and it's a totally different thing, so don't go quote me and say that I said that the Super Bowl was more important than the 250th anniversary of the country, but I didn't care for the band that was at the Super Bowl, so I just didn't go and watch. That's America's sport. And then have Bad Bunny come who didn't even know what he said. But
I'm gonna thank you. Let this gentleman speak here. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. 30 years ago, before we moved to Bay City, I heard a California State Patrol say if he ever saw a Confederate flag on a truck, he saw it as saying, "Follow me to the meth lab." But closer, more recently, I guess I'm an old Yankee abolitionist like Mr. Tenney, that in 2019, when there was a Confederate flag flown at Bay City Western School framing students, and the principal, who should have been cashiered at that point, said, "Oh, it's free speech." Well, that made the national news. And I had friends in California and New Mexico send me clippings sneering, "Oh man, how you doing out there in the woods with those people?" And I agree that Fireworks Festival is a big money maker for the town, a big holiday, and it should be generating a big sum in July. However, I agree with every one of you up there who said that Bay City business climate is essential. And if we want to get progress on things like roads, we need the tax base. So I really want you all to consider, are you cutting off your nose to spite your face? Are you, by hosting this band this year, going to have impact in the long run on the good name of Bay City? Thank you.
I just wanted to jump back because it seems like we skipped the public speaking about leadership. Because I think that's like our biggest thing right now here in the community of Bay City is our leadership. And we talk about $155 an hour. That's the truth. She's making $155 an hour. You say what you want. The truth of the matter is she's making $155 an hour, right? My truth is what I make an hour. And guess what? I pay taxes out of that. I pay property tax out of that. They take money out of my check for insurance. They take money out of my check for 401k, right? Because I have to retire. And then I get this little check. So I don't want to hear, well, this is not really what she's making. That's what she's making. That's again, the truth versus the lie, right? She's making $155 an hour, and she has not helped our community in any way.
So what's the solution?
So what I'm trying to get involved in the solution is, again, what I said earlier, transparency, right? Being truthful. We showed that video at couple commissions ago, you made paint Bay City look like the most beautiful place, and it can be like that. You didn't show one toll sign, because what if they come from Wild Road area, or over there, like, they can't come through, they have to go all the way around, because all the bridges are tolled now, right? You guys kind of mentioned that, it is what it is, I ain't gonna use it, I ain't gonna support it, it is what it is. Same thing with like,
So one solution is being more transparent.
yeah, we just need to be more transparent, be honest, again, truth versus image. Don't sit here and call the citizens of Bay City spouting off, because I'm one of them that said that. Because I'm not a liar. Every time I would go through any street in the city, they're torn up. The streets are torn up. They're not getting fixed. And the streets that have got fixed, Center Avenue got, some things got done on Center Avenue, bunch of on Marquette, guess what, those are MDOT. And those are done by grants because we finally got another nice jobs to come in here.
For the second time, I'm sorry, we have to start wrapping
But just,
this up.
Advantage Plastics moved in, so they fixed that. Other than that, McKinley down here and
I think
Smith Street.
you are very passionate, and I think passion is welcomed, and I think that, the people that are passionate have to come up with more type of solutions as opposed to us pointing fingers at each other and then say, okay, what can we do to make this better? So I appreciate you. We have a
Hate or no?
No, it's passion. That's what I told you. You're passionate. Yes. Yes.
Calling Bay City residents a liar when you're
I think sometimes truth is kind of nuanced as far as perspective and experience. Yes, no, I understand. Thank you.
Can I say one thing before you?
Really, no, let them finish really quick. And then I'll try to hold your thoughts, Scott, okay?
Okay. So I just wanted to comment on the whole Confederate Railroad thing. So this is sort of one of those things that I'm saying, like, I'm concerned about, like, the Streisand effect of it all. Where it becomes an issue, we all fight about it, it becomes a huge thing we're all, at each other's throats about. There's not really anything the city can do about it one way or the other. I mean, there might, but at the end of the day, we have freedom of speech. We allow people to burn American flags, in our country. Having people wave Confederate flags is another thing that comes with that right. And so I'm worried that as a result of this whole conflict, rather than reducing the celebration of the Confederate flag in Bay City, there's going to be an increase in celebrating the Confederate flag here.
So you're saying that by creating certain things, it just makes it.
I think people are going to be waving their Confederate flags.
So what is the solution? Do you think people should not speak up about what they're passionate about?
I think you're in a position of power and you have that, where what you put out there becomes a news story and whatnot. There's a responsibility behind that, and how you communicate that has a significant impact in the community.
Yeah.
Is there a way that maybe we could have in the future say, we could have dealt with this without having it become another political issue where we're all at each other about it? And possibly. But what's going to end up happening is everybody who's in the area is going to say, oh, they don't want us to wave our Confederate flags at this thing. They're going to show up and wave our Confederate flags. And it's not going to be for Southern pride, it'll be for the dogs of reason. And so
I'm sorry.
that's what I'm concerned.
Yes, sorry. Second time, yes. And I will say, no matter where you go, what city you live in, people are going to still have conversations about different things. And it's just of how we have the conversation and how we bring some solutions to it. Go ahead, please.
Hi. First of all, thank you for everyone on the panel. That is not easy what you guys are doing tonight. Lots of respect for you. My name's Rob Clark. I immigrated to Bay City in 2000. Nobody asked me who I was when I showed up in town. I wonder if I didn't look the way I did, if that might have been different. My job situation resulted in me having to leave Bay City in 2016. In 2018, I got the opportunity to come back here to a place I love this community. Right around that time, news of Confederate flags at Bay City Western High School was making national news. My wife said, we are not moving back there. And we had long, drawn out, sometimes heated conversations. And I promised her, I said, Please go back. We love this community. There's so many good things. Yes, there are challenges. I will fight every day against anything that I believe to be racist. I believe the Confederate flag to be one of the most racist symbols. And if you're an African American, it's the swastika. It's the Nazi symbol. So now I'm going to say something out of the other side of my mouth. I also have incredible respect for our fireworks festival volunteers. Amazing people. Earl Bovia is a friend of mine, a business owner, amazing guy. These people work their tails off to put on a community celebration like none other. The first thing I was told when I moved here in 2000 was, we have the best fireworks in the world. Is that right? Is that right? So I think it was tone deaf that we booked this band, but I also think this is an opportunity to learn, to open our hearts, open our minds, listen to each other, have a real conversation, and try to make sure that maybe something like this doesn't happen again. And let's do our best to spread the love that we have for each other in this community. And I'm going to be done now. But please know that that symbol, that cannot exist in our time.
Thank you. Okay, you sit here, and then when I start going like this, that means because we only have a couple more minutes, okay?
Okay, I just want to make a point that it's the same thing with the fireworks as it is with the bridges. If you don't like it, don't use it. There are businesses, personally, I won't go to Home Depot. I would rather shop at a local hardware store. So what we need to keep in mind is that us not using the bridges isn't going to make any difference because a lot of us are city residents are using those bridges for free anyway. It's the people from out of town that are no longer coming to our city and spending money in our city because of the bridges. And it's going to be the same thing with fireworks, and I agree with everyone who says we need to pay attention to the good name of our city and make it clear that he is our home here and civil to be.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I just want to say, I love Bay City. I've been here since 1970. We took affirmative action in the late 70s for me to get a job in Bay City. My grandson goes to Western Middle School right now. But if anybody's family was hung and tortured under that Confederate flag, they feel a lot different about it. Money isn't everything.
Are you going to read out? You can't read all of that. No, you got okay, say it really quick.
Let's be honest, Bay City Fireworks has had lots of bands with names that some people might find offensive. Slaughter, for example, Bullet Boys, the Lynch Mob. So why is the Confederate Railroad suddenly a problem? The band is coming to play music, not push an agenda, and their name refers to trains and Southern-style country music, not hate or slavery. Anyone can find something offensive if they look hard enough. Canceling performances over a name sets a dangerous precedent. And it isn't ridiculous for a city commissioner to risk millions in revenues and thousands of visitors over a misunderstanding. This isn't high school drama, it's a festival that supports families, community, and our local economy. Let's focus on what really matters, celebrating traditions, supporting our community, and staying united.
Thank you. Are you okay? Real quick, like couple seconds. Get it out. I'm sorry. They told me I had to leave at 8 o'clock. Okay.
The bottom line is that name represents a lot. And we're slapping our veterans in the face. And independence didn't only come because of the slavery. It started out with colonies wanting to separate from the king. Okay, stay right here. But the thing is, the fact that it's a slap in my face. I love Bay City. And so what Bay City is telling me that even though you might love me, I don't love you. But Bay City is telling me we have a lot of people that's not showing who they really are. But we shouldn't even have this conversation because the Confederate band shouldn't even never been booked. And to book it on that day, our 250th year anniversary, is a disrespect to our veterans, it's a disrespect to people of color, it's a disrespect to me. And let me tell you what's their names.
So I need to close this out. Thank you. I know it's a lot. Give me a second, Chris. Let me do my part, and then you can do your thing. Do you want to do that really quick? Is it going to be quick, Chris? Because we. Okay.
I want Brandon Thatcher to come on up. Because this gentleman, somebody reached out to me a few months ago, and he runs Bay County No Complaints. This guy goes around and spreads positivity in our community, and we need to celebrate some of the positivity. He brought all these no he goes around our community, and he gives away ducks. So, I mean, real quick, whereas the strength of any community is reflected in the character, kindness, and positivity of its residents, and whereas individuals who uplift others, encourage their neighbors, and promote goodwill help build a stronger, more connected Bay City. And whereas Brandon Thatcher, a proud resident of Bay City, has become widely known throughout the community for his positive outlook, uplifting spirit, and dedicated to widespreading encouragement and kindness to him all around. So I'm going to give you this recognition. There's more to it, and I want to thank you for all you do for the community, and I'm glad you're here. He's been communicating with me the last month about this event, so thank you, Brandon.
I did see your post that you shared about it, so thank you so much for bringing some positivity. I appreciate that. Congratulations. I'm sorry I had to rush that. I feel so terrible. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for tonight. You know what? Let me explain something to you all. First, I'm going to read what I have here because I want to make sure I say it, then I'm going to say something very quickly. Tonight, we sat in something that isn't always easy. We heard perspectives that may have stretched us, challenged us, maybe even unsettled us. And for some of you, you might be leaving wondering, what did we actually accomplish here tonight? No votes were taken, no final answers were given, no clear resolution. But we believe something deeper happened here because progress doesn't always look like agreement. Sometimes it looks like understanding where there was once assumption. Sometimes it looks like pausing instead of reacting. And sometimes it looks like staying in the room when it would be easier to walk away. Tonight we check the pulse of your community, and you can't change what you're not willing to acknowledge. You can't heal what you're unwilling to feel. So my questions for you, I always end with a couple of reflection questions. What did you hear tonight that challenged you? What perspective will stay with you after you walk out of this room? What responsibility do you carry in shaping this community? And what will you do differently starting tomorrow, even today? This conversation was never meant to solve everything in one night. It was meant to start something. This isn't the end of the conversation, it's the beginning of accountability. Because a stronger Bay City isn't built in one meeting, it's built in moments like this, when people choose to lean in instead of pull away. So if you leave tonight with more questions than answers, that is a good thing. That means something is working and something is stirring inside of you, because Bay City's future won't be decided by what was said in this room, but by what you chose to do after you leave it. I want to tell you all, thank you all so much for being open and honest. It is not easy sharing sometimes how you feel. People judge us. Sometimes we're afraid of our business being impacted or different things or threats that we get. We have to be honest, and that's the only way to heal. That's the only way to grow, so I appreciate you guys for doing that. I appreciate everyone in this audience, in this community that came out. It means you love Bay City. And sometimes love, safety, health, we all want that, but it can look different. And it's okay for us to discuss it. It's okay for us to be open. It's okay for us to be passionate. It's okay for us to get up and talk about it. It's okay for us to have those concerns. Now I challenge you to think about what is next. How do you build solution? How do you create community to be able to get through and continue to grow together? We had moments up here where people who feel differently agreed on some things, even shared some water. That was so refreshing. I love to see it. And so we want to continue to build that community. So thank you all so much. I appreciate you guys. Thank you to the Berry Community Foundation for allowing this to happen. And you guys have a beautiful, and take that food out there. We not want to take all that home, so take this with you, okay? Thank you all so much.
And let's hear for Aaron Patrice. Thank you, Aaron. And again, thank you for coming out.
This is for you guys. Make sure you take that, okay? Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thanks for loving this community.
Thank you, Jeff.